2 weeks ago, I showed you the AI agent that runs my week. Last week, I showed you why most advisors are already behind. And today, I'm giving you the thing you actually need first, before the agent and before the automation, before any of it. It's a 3-color system I ran with pen and paper for 90 days. And it's the reason every other system I've built actually works. I've been in financial services for nearly 3 decades now, and every advisor I've ever coached who actually scaled their practice did the same thing in a different order than everyone else. They fixed the operating system before they bought the tools. That's what today is about. Let me explain what I mean by the title, because this is the thing most advisors will never admit out loud. Your calendar treats every 30-minute block as equal. A client meeting at 9 a.m. looks the same as an internal call at 3 p.m. A follow-up email at 10 looks the same as a compliance review at 4. Your calendar doesn't know the difference between work that moves your practice forward and work that just fills the day. That's the lie. Not that your calendar is wrong, it's that your calendar is a scheduling tool pretending to be a prioritization tool. And those two things are not the same. Here's what happens when you let a scheduling tool run your priorities. You wake up, you open email, you react to whatever showed up overnight. You scan your calendar, you see it's packed, and you tell yourself you had a productive day because you showed up to every block. Meanwhile, the 3 things that would have actually moved revenue don't even get touched. I did this for years. I was busy, my calendar was full, my business was stuck though. The fix isn't a better calendar, my friend. The fix is a different operating system that runs underneath it. So here's a system that I propose. 3 colors, that's it. Red, do it today. These are the tasks where if you don't do it, something breaks. 4 criteria: do within 48 hours, blocking someone else, client facing, meaning that they're waiting on you, or revenue critical, meaning a deal dies if you don't act. If a task hits any one of those 4, it's red. Example, a client called you Tuesday about a rollover allocation decision. They need an answer by the end of day Thursday. That's red. It's client facing, it's revenue adjacent, it's on a 48-hour clock. Then you have yellow, which is this week. Due within 7 days, but not today. Important prep work, maybe. Follow-ups that aren't on fire yet. Internal projects with soft deadlines. These matter. They're not optional, but they don't need to happen before noon today, though. So here's an example. You have a prospect meeting next Thursday with a retiring couple. Prep work for that meeting is yellow. It has to get done. It doesn't have to get done today, though. And then lastly, you have green, which is scheduled. It has a due date, but it's not this week. Long-term projects, professional development, systems work, the stuff you know that matters, but nobody is waiting on. Here's an example. Building out a new client onboarding checklist for quarter 3, due May 15th. That's green. It's real, it has a deadline, but it waits. 3 colors, that's the whole priority engine. And here's why it works. Every time you're staring at your task list, wondering what to do next, you're not solving a productivity problem. You're solving a classification problem. Once you know whether something is red, yellow, or green, you already know what to do. Here's how you run it. 5 minutes every morning before email. Step 1, open the list. Read only the red items. That is your day, not the yellows, not the greens, just the reds. Step 2, check if any yellow became red overnight. Deadline got moved up. Client pinged you. If something shifted, re-tier it. Step 3, look at your calendar. Block time for your reds around your meetings. This is where your calendar becomes useful again. It's a container for priorities, not a replacement for them. Step 4, if you have open time after your reds are accounted for, pull 1 yellow into that day. Never more than 1 though. If you pull in 2 or 3 yellows, you're lying to yourself about capacity. That's the ritual. 5 minutes, no app required, no subscription, no assistant needed. What it does is pull your priorities out of your head and put them in front of you, in front of your eyes, in order of what matters. Your brain stops running the task list in the background. Your day has a shape before the inbox even gets a vote. And this is where most advisors feel the unlock for the very first time. Not because the tasks changed per se. The tasks were the same. What changed is the order of execution. Quick break. Everything I just walked you through, I put into a short read you can finish in about 10 minutes and set up in 15. It's free. The link is in the description. It's called the Red, Yellow, Green Framework. And it's the exact version I ran on paper for 3 months before I touched any technology. Grab it, set it up, then come back and finish the episode. Now, here's the part nobody talks about. The part that makes the difference between running the system and crushing it with the system. Not all hours are equal. You have up to 4 hours of peak cognitive energy per day. That's it. Most advisors waste those hours on things like email. Here's the match. High energy usually means morning, at least for me. Your peak cognitive window. This is where your red tasks go. Client calls, proposals to create, complex plans, prospecting outreach even. The stuff that requires real thinking. Medium energy, usually midday. This is yellow territory. Follow-ups, maybe internal meetings, prep work, stuff that needs attention but doesn't need genius, Low energy, usually afternoon. Green task and maintenance, admin, data entry, CE credit stuff, professional development, inbox cleanup. It's the work that drains you when your brain is already drained. And here's the math nobody teaches in wealth management school. A red task at 9 a.m. takes 30 minutes, but the same red task at 3 p.m. takes an hour. And the quality is worse. Let that land. Same task, different time, double the cost in energy. Lower quality also. When you match task difficulty to your energy level, you get more done in less time. Not because you're working harder, because you're working when your brain is actually online. This is the piece that turns the red, yellow, green framework from a task list into an operating system. You're not organizing your day by priority alone, you're organizing it by priority matched to capacity. And that's where you get the leverage. Now, let me tell you why I'm giving you the whole framework for free, when I easily could have gated it behind a program. Because if you skip this step, nothing else I teach you will work. You cannot automate a process you don't understand fully. You cannot buy a tool that fixes a missing operating system. You cannot hire an assistant who thinks through your priorities for you if you haven't figured out your own priorities first. I ran red, yellow, green on paper for 90 days. Pen, paper, that's it. No AI, no subscription, no automation. Every single day for 3 months. Why? Because I needed to feel the weight of the system before I handed it to a machine. I needed to see which tasks kept slipping. I needed to iterate. I needed to watch what happened when I promoted a yellow to a red too early. I also needed to notice what time of day my brain actually worked best versus what time I told myself it worked best. And I needed to catch the patterns in my own behavior that no AI could have seen from the outside. And when I finally built the automated version you saw I created an AI agent to run my week with 12 data pipes and 6 scheduled tasks, I wasn't building a productivity tool. I was encoding the operating system I had already proven that worked. The agent didn't invent the priorities. The agent executed the priorities I had already learned to set. And this is the part that the AI influencers will never tell you. They'll sell you a prompt library. They'll sell you a ChatGPT course, which is fine. I've bought them. They won't tell you though that the prompts are maybe 10% of the value, whereas the other 90% is the operating system that sits underneath. The system makes it work. The tech makes it faster. I've said this before. You gotta do it in that order and you can never reverse it. So run the manual version for 3 weeks before you automate anything. At least 3 weeks. And if you still want to build what I built after 3 weeks of running it pen and paper, you'll be ready. And here's a spoiler alert. If you quit before 3 weeks, you weren't going to stick with the automated version either. So here's where I'll leave you. Your calendar is not going to get smarter. Your inbox is not going to calm down. The advisors who pull ahead in the next 5 years are not the ones who buy better tools. They're the ones who build a better operating system underneath the tools they already have. You have everything you need right now. You have a blank document with 3 headers, and you got 5 minutes in the morning. That's the entire starting kit. If you want the framework I just walked you through as a short read, you can finish it in 10 minutes probably. Grab the red, yellow, green framework in the description. It's free, no trade, just take it. And if you want to go deeper, if you want to see how advisors I coach are building their own operating systems, come hang out in the Signal community. The link is below also. But before you click anything, I want to leave you with one question. When you wake up tomorrow, will you start your day in your inbox or will you start it with a plan? Because one of those options is a choice. The other one is a habit pretending to be a choice. And the advisors who pull ahead are the ones who stop confusing the two. What I'm telling you, I wish I knew 10 years ago. The key is not to build a smarter calendar. Build a smarter operating system. So if this resonated, hit the subscribe button. I drop a new episode every Thursday, and I'm building this channel to be the place that advisors go when they're ready to stop working harder and start working smarter. Next week, I'm gonna go deeper on what a practice looks like when you actually apply this. You don't wanna miss it. I'm Dom Henderson. See you next week, my friend.